the second lesson on transformations, being rotations and enlargements today. Last week we did translations and reflections. Let's look at Barley's demonstration of a rotation. Download the worksheet from my website or scan the QR code below. Here is the worksheet. I'm going to rotate the dog 180 degrees about the origin. Once again, accuracy is very important. In fact, I had to alter the worksheet because although I'm rotating 180 degrees here, when I got to 90 degrees, the X and Y axes were out by 2 millimeters. Start by putting a small piece of tracing paper over the dog. As we are rotating about the center 0, 0, the origin, put a small arrow mark there vertically as shown. Now trace round the dog. Now put a sharp pencil point on the origin and keep it there as you carefully rotate the tracing paper through 180 degrees. That is when the arrow is pointing vertically downwards as shown. Now observe where the dog is and carefully draw the dog underneath the tracing paper. What I tend to do is lift up each corner and mark the points that are easy to do to start with. I know that was a bit tricky, so let's look at some simpler shapes by using Geogebra. Make a shape as we did in part 1 using the triangle icon. This time I'm going to make a quadrilateral. Click on the icon as shown, and go down to rotate around point. Select the object you want to rotate and click on a point. And then enter the angle you want to rotate your object through. I have continued to do the rotation 7 times to create this pattern. You can continue to make your own patterns. And when I said let's go to Geogebra for simple shapes, you can also create more complicated shapes. In fact, you can even create the dog. I used Geogebra to create the worksheet for this lesson. So choose your activity and feel free to change the center of rotation or the angle for each of your investigations. Have fun! This worksheet can be found on the second half of the worksheet you printed off earlier, and we're going to enlarge the dog by scale factor of 3, center 0, 0. I think this one's quite tricky if you are going to use the center of enlargement, so watch carefully, or you could just go straight to Geogebra and do some simpler shapes. Start by marking the center, which is 0, 0 being the origin here. Then mark the first point that you're going to move, which I'm going to use the back paw to start with. And this is scale factor 3, as the first point is 2 squares away from the origin. 2 times 3 is 6, so it will move to 6. So the next point is 3 squares from the center. So scale factor 3, 3 times 3 is 9, it's going to move to 9. Remember to join the points, and you can see those 2 points are 3 squares apart, so that bottom back paw is 3 times as big as it was. For the next point, it's 1 square vertically. So for that one, I would just go 3 squares vertically up. The next point is on a diagonal, so I would look at the coordinates being 4, 2. It's 4 squares horizontally, so 3 times as much would take to 12, 2 vertically, 3 times as much takes you to 6. Take care if your centre of enlargement is not the origin. It's the number of squares from your centre of enlargement that is important. Continue to enlarge the dog as shown. If you didn't go ahead here already, go to Geogebra and we can look at some simpler shapes. So start with your shape as before, using the triangle icon, and then set a point for your enlargement by going to the icon as shown and clicking a point. Then go to the other icon and go down to, they call it dilate from point, and that will give you an enlargement, and then put in your enlargement scale factor. I've used 2 here. You might like to investigate what happens when you move the centre of enlargement, as I'm showing here. So you're on the last activity for transformations. Choose your enlargement, whether it be the dog or another shape. Choose your own centre. Perhaps you don't want to use a centre, and you can just enlarge it by a scale factor. Discuss with your homeschooler what I looked like after a rotation. What did I look like after an enlargement? Don't forget to send me your wonderful pictures.